In for a video today. I'm bringing you a brand new series today, and I hope that you enjoy it. This is a new series about listing. So if you're new to the channel, let me introduce myself a bit. I am the same namesake as the channel. My name is Thelma, and I have been selling on eBay for many years. I'm also a special education teacher, so my full-time position is as a teacher, but I've always supplemented my income with reselling. And not only have I supplemented my income, but I've always found it very satisfying to resell because I do tend to collect a lot of things, including jewelry. So I have been a power seller on eBay since the first 3 months I started selling on eBay. I became a power seller. And I have to attribute that to the fact that I love what I sell. Almost everything that I was selling was a collection, including jewelry. So on this series, we want to talk a lot about inspiration to list your items because it's so easy to go out. The best part, the easiest part, if you do this for fun and if you're collecting things that you love, is to go out and find them. The hard part is looking at your hoard, and I would love to one day give you a tour. I will one day give you a tour of my room so you can see how I have some of my jewelry laid out and how it can be overwhelming. But I want you to know that it's not impossible to turn a profit with what you buy. First of all, I want you to think about jewelry. I want to try to make this series really short, guys. So I don't want to be on here more than 45 minutes because I do have a showcase that I moderate for Makeup Zombie here on Sunday, every Sunday at, I believe, 4 o'clock Central. So I need to rush over there and do that as well. But I do want to have a little bit of time with you guys to let you know that we're all in the same boat trying to list everything that we buy. So I really want to start this series up. I think I'm going to call it something about selling and listing and inspo. Help me come up with a name. I haven't quite come up with a catchy little name for it yet, but I'm going to. And basically, I just wanted to talk a little bit about jewelry first. Why do we buy it? What does it do for us? What does it connote? It's all about feelings. Every time we buy something, it's because we like something about it. It reminds us of something. It's nostalgic. Our mother wore it. Our grandmother had it. Or your grandmother, you inherited your grandmother's collection or something like that. So it's all about feelings. So that's one of the things I want you to remember about jewelry is that other people feel the same way. And that's why it's such a draw. It's such a great item to start listing. Yes, we love collecting it. Yes, we love getting it. We love putting it on, wearing it. That's one of the things I did today to inspire me is to put it on. That's number one. Be sure that you get dressed for the occasion. If those of you who work from home, it's a lot easier to get inspired if you put on a little lipstick, at least put your hair back and put it up out of your face, put on a piece of jewelry, and you will feel like listing it. I really think that's important. That's what I do, especially since I work full time. I will put on the rings that I think I want to sell soon. So I will wear them to work. If I can, I'll snap a couple of pictures of them. I'll put them on Instagram. Not so much because I sell on Instagram, because I don't, but because if I get enough likes or comments, I feel like, oh, that's something that may be worth listing after all. So then I'll put it up on Etsy or I'll put it up on eBay. There's different ways that you can think about where you want to put jewelry. And we'll get into that later on in the series. I do want your suggestions on anything that you want me to cover. So please leave your comments, not just in the chat, and I'll open up the chat in a few minutes, but also in the comments section. So I can go back in there and know, oh, you want to know how I know whether to put it on Etsy or eBay. Why do I like Macari? Why don't I like Macari? Things like that. But first, I did want to talk about that, about how when you pick up a piece of jewelry, guys, I know every time I do a haul, I'm always coming up with some story or some anecdote about that reminded me of my father's first diamond ring, or it reminded me of a ring my mother got me when I was 15. Well, things like that convey. They are conveyed in your listing. So remember that you want to try to get that feeling across. In the end, guys, jewelry is going to outlive us all, whether it's fine jewelry, whether it's collectible jewelry, or costume that's very well taken care of. It's going to outlive us all. So you might think to yourself, why would I want to sell my jewelry? I love it. I love wearing it. Well, yeah, but you can only wear so much. You can only wear so much. You can wear it for a while. You can love it, and then you can list it and someone else will love it. Someone else will feel the same way. Oh my gosh, that ring reminds me of, you know, my first prom, or I can't believe that that's my mother's bracelet that she used to wear, or something. So it's all about feelings. That's one thing you always have to remember about jewelry. That's why it's such a draw. That's why we buy it all the time, because it does that for people. So do remember that. I'm going to open up the chat really quick. I'm going to show you what I didn't show you from that bag that we got last night. It was great. And then we'll wrap up with a couple of more things about how I'm going to list and what I was inspired to list today. Okay. So let me open this up. All right, so we got Picky Chick, Patty Feb, Guillermo, Carla, Debs, Nadine. Thank you guys so much for being here. I'm not going to spend too much time on am I echoing or anything? Let me know. On saying hello to everybody, but I'm really glad that you're here. Vanessa, thank you. Jack, Karen, Picky Chick, Dora, and Elizabeth is here as well, because I really want to get into how I get inspired to list my jewelry. Okay, again, first thing I did today, and you may not do this, but I do all of my listing on my phones. My husband just came in and said, how do I operate this camera? Because I had a fabulous Canon that I used to do my picture taking with. I used to upload. A lot of people still love to do that, and so forth and so on. We do have the memory card and all that, but I no longer do that because it's very cumbersome for me, very time consuming. I do work full time, so this is the way I do it. I do it on a mobile device. I take pictures every chance I get. They're loaded up in there. So when I wake up, I grab my camera, I check my emails, I answer my questions, because that's very important. If you want to sell your items, do not ignore questions. I look through my flock of pictures so that I can delete anything I've already listed. And I usually find quite a few that I haven't listed. So I will get on the easiest one, the easiest app to list on. eBay is the hardest one to list on mobily. To me, the easiest ones are Poshmark and Mercari. And I will get on there. They don't ask a whole bunch of questions. You don't have to click a whole bunch of things. And I will list about 3 items. That's one thing I do. Next thing I do, I'm like, what am I going to list today? Last night I decided I'm going to list statement necklaces. So I put on a statement necklace that you've seen in a haul. It's a beautiful snake. It's kind of plastic. I love it. I put on the 1928 locket that we found last night. I thought it was gorgeous, and I have a lot of lockets I need to list. So that's what I'm going to concentrate on. But I just wanted to tell you that I try to get one thing at a time. So I'm not going to say, oh, I got to list everything I pulled out of that jar last night. No, there's no time for that. I have to, first of all, start with what I already have. I have a box like this. Now, I already had one like this that I got from the Goodwill that was all paired, and I've made tons of money on those beautiful clip-on earrings. They sell really well. But I'm starting to pair up other ones, the ones that came last night. I think these are possibly Bakelite. So I'm inspired to test these, and because they're very small clip-on, they do have that interesting sound, and they're a very interesting color as well. So I'm going to go in here and probably list these. But this is a whole new collection. These are the ones that I have paired together in my own little box. And I was inspired by that, by how well those other ones are doing on Etsy. Every other day I sell one on Etsy. I woke up today. I was going to show you originally sterling silver that I have in here in this other box, but I decided I was going to do statement necklaces instead because I still want to test a few things. By the way, this is the purse that Deb won last night, and we're going to fill it up with some nice jewelry. This was from Dawn's auction a year ago, I believe. And I don't think I have any Brighton, but I'm going to look. Deb says, do you have Brighton? I'm going to try to find some Brighton. If I do, I'll put some in there. But otherwise, let me know what other jewelry you have. She won that last night. So I also was inspired to do the statement necklace when we found this one. And I told you I had several, or 1 or 2 of these, and had already sold one on Etsy. I mean, on Poshmark. So I'm starting with this, right? But this is probably the only way I store. This is probably the only category of jewelry that I've actually stored this way, in a bin like this. And it is so heavy and so outrageous that I need to pull one of these out and I need to list them. Some of them have been listed. I showed you this one the other day. But I'm going to go through one drawer. I'm going to get one of my little silhouettes here. And I'm going to either sit on my bed, which I found that my bed, for some reason, with all this lighting around it, has a wonderful translation to the camera. And I'm going to take pictures first. That's the way I do it. I take all pictures. And I take as many as I can, usually more than what I need to. And they're all, this one's already listed. And I've actually gotten some offers on it, and I should have taken it, but I didn't. This is a beautiful signed piece. I also have this one because I like to switch it up. I don't want to put my stuff in a light box. First of all, I don't have it. First of all, I don't have the time to go sit at a light box and set things up. I'm just going to grab what I have around me. I just painted this one because I wanted to make it pop. I painted it with some nail polishes. I did a little dry brush type technique and just used all my nail polishes to make it red and beautiful. I like to switch it up. I don't like a plain white background. I don't like my jewelry to look like it's floating on the air. It's just not what I do. You may like it that way. That's fine. But I do put it on this frame. Then if I can, I wear it and take a picture of myself wearing it, or I'll have my daughter wear it, because I really think you cannot convey the true beauty or the true scale of a piece unless a model is wearing it. I also measure it. I put it on a ruler or something to measure it so you'll know. Of course, I answer the content. If it doesn't ask the content, I will say gold tone and so forth on my listings. But that's basically what I do, guys, is grab one thing to dedicate my day to. Today it's going to be statement necklaces. Again, I am dying here with all of these statement necklaces. Some of these are worthy of translation. We'll talk about that in another video. What I mean by worthy of translation, okay, even though these, let's say a simple, the one I got last night with the little blue thing, you know, it might be, but it's not what I'm going to do today. Here's a turquoise one that came out from yesterday's jar, the big bag. Beautiful. It's actually signed by the artisan in handwriting. It's scratched. I think it says Robert something on it. But right now, I'm not going to dedicate myself to that. That's a whole other category. So that's what I'm doing there. This one as well. All of these, they sell. Every time I put one on Poshmark, they have sold. The J. Crew has sold. The Charming Charlie's, everything. It's going to sell. Now, it may not immediately sell for the $25 that you want it to sell for, but after it's been up there 6 months and it hasn't been fished out, then I'm going to go around and start reducing it. And again, that's going to be another video how I do that. This one, all of these are gorgeous, and they're sitting here unlisted. But that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to grab the little box. I may not do every drawer because it's full. And even the one I pulled off of here, this is so beautiful. People love this rich Cleopatra looking jewelry. Look at that. So that's what I'm going to do with that. And if I have time, I'll do the lockets next. But it's definitely going to be vintage coral in here, J. Crew. And I woke up to a sale a little while ago on Etsy, and I was telling you how Etsy loves to be pampered. The more that you put on there, guys, the more they're going to come and look at your stuff. They really are. I don't know what it is about the algorithm or whatnot, but it works. The beads as well. I don't know what kind of beads they are. I should have probably tested them. Does Bakelite come in black? I'm not sure. I think someone said it didn't. But all of these are going to go on the listing wagon today. Oh, look at this one. And that way I have all my props ready. I don't have to go grab the earring thing and then go look for the ring thing, you know, because that's going to be another day. Here's another one. I have to list this pretty thing. And that way I have all these pictures taken. And while I'm doing something else, let's say I'll be picking somebody up and I'll be in the car waiting for 15 minutes. I have all those photos there. I'm always waiting at the post office. I go directly to the post office. Take a drink of water. I go directly to the post office. So I'm there every single day. Some days it's crowded. Saturday, it was incredible. There was such a line. Everybody was getting a what do you call it? A passport. So I was in line for 30 minutes and I listed 5 things. So just take one day at a time, guys. I know it's an overused statement. Take one day at a time. Tell yourself, what is it that I'm going to put on today? Okay, I get dressed in the morning. I'm like, I'm going to wear turquoise today. And that's what I put on. And then I'll think about it while I'm having lunch or whatever. Oh, I'm going to go ahead and list this on Mercari because it's that easy. Mercari only takes, well, they can actually, I think you can do 8 pictures, but they're not required. And as long as I know what size it is, and I do have a sizer, I already know it's a 7, so I'm ready to list. So let me show you some of the other things that popped out of that jar last night. Remember I told you there was a big tangle of chains? 10 sterling silver chains were in that bag. Again, I paid with my discount $60. I don't regret it now. Of course, the David Yurman popped out of there as well. All sizes, all kinds. Some are Italian. Really, really nice. So that was awesome. Then I got, remember I dismissed these rings, guys? Where is it? This one? They're sterling. There's actually 2. I was already going to put it in the crafter lot, and this one is coral, and I actually checked it really close with the loop. It is definitely coral, and it is Hallmark 925 on the inside, hammered bypass, so they are adjustable. So I'm probably going to keep those because I love those type of rings. And then this one is lapis. So, okay, got that. Then there was this sterling ring. This is a mesh, kind of like the Elsa Peretti for Tiffany, but this one's actually flexible. Really nice. That came out of there as well. And I showed you the little cross with the chain, sterling turquoise, and it is signed. And we got some gold. We did get the 2 matching gold earrings. Very nice, but those will definitely be sold. I will probably put these on Etsy for about $100 because in scrap they are worth a lot less, and they're not scrap. They're beautiful earrings. They're a beautiful oval-shaped hoop, and I'm not afraid to sell high-dollar items. That's another thing people are always fretting about. I don't know why. Don't be afraid to sell your gold online, guys. We've been doing this for years. How old is eBay? eBay's about 25 years old. I think we can, learn to go with the idea, which what eBay was founded on is mutual trust. And now there's verification and backs, things that back you up. eBay will back you up if it gets lost or whatever, as long as it's delivered. And I mean, of course, there's going to be issues, but there are more pluses than minuses. Do not be afraid to list your gold jewelry on Poshmark or eBay or Mercari. It's really not that big of a risk. So that was awesome that I got that. Then there was one 10-karat white gold necklace, and I felt it a little bit slicker. Somehow gold always feels a little slicker, guys, than the sterling. And I checked the hallmark, and it is marked 10-karat gold. So that was wonderful. Another really pretty kind of a decorative chain came out in sterling. And a tiger eye. I don't know. I think it's all tiger eye and sterling. Isn't that beautiful? That also came out. And this is marked sterling, so it's a vintage piece. And I'm just now looking at this. I think they're little diamonds. I haven't tested them, but it's sterling, but it's broken. It's a broken brooch. And I guess it's kind of Edwardian, or I don't know. I don't want to guess the time period. I'm still studying about that. But it was a broken sterling piece that was in there too. We had another set of little gold earrings. These are really cute, and they are, you probably can't see them very well, but I'll try. They're little pearls on kind of a snake chain there. They are matched and 14 karat. So that came out of there too. And then what else? From the counter recently on, as you know, on this series, guys, we are going to talk a little bit about what I find in the counter so we don't take too much time opening jars. But that's basically what it's going to be about. So I hope you take the time to subscribe today and hit that bell to be notified for future videos. Leave me your questions. Let me know what you want to know about listing and selling jewelry, and give us your reasons for listing. What makes you get up in the morning and list? What is it that you do? We would all like to know that. But on the jewelry counter as well, I found this one for $10. This is a really beautiful, this is kind of like the John Hardy type of chain. I don't know what they call it exactly. I forgot what he called it. I'm forgetting now, but it's got a little amber, very, very clear amber though. It has very little deposits and it's all sterling, really pretty. I got that for $10 at the Goodwill last week. Very, very nice. And it's got the toggle clasp as well. So that was sweet. I love that. And then I just found this. I could not resist this gorgeous little brooch. I got it for about $1. I think it was marked 2. It's a treasure chest, and it just reminded me of us and what we do. We love filling our treasure chests. We love filling our jewelry boxes with treasures. We love the hunt. It's an insatiable appetite that we have to hunt for more treasure. These have the prettiest little rhinestones too. They're super cute. So I kind of thought it was inspo for me when I got this. I was like, yeah, that's really cool. I really think this speaks to me. I don't want to list it. I probably wear it or put it on a purse or something because I want it to remind me that I'm holding treasure. I really am, but I'm not holding treasure so much that, oh, this is worth this and this is worth that. Again, I want you to think about jewelry as what it conveys, how it really turns someone's day to be able to find a ring that they wore when they were kids or something that they wore that their mother gave them or so forth and so on eBay and Etsy. They are literally hunting for that right now. And I'm not lying. If any of you guys follow me on Etsy, go back and read some of the feedback. It's not all great. Most of it is. I think I've only had 1 or 2 bad feedback, very, very little. But most of it has been very good, and a lot of it is about feelings. One lady, and this wasn't even jewelry per se, it was a teeny little plastic princess telephone keychain, and she told me that she had been hunting for that keychain, and I sold her, I think it was 2 or 3 in the little key rings that I found at the bottom of a box in a thrift store and bought for $10, I think, and I sold it for like 20. She said she'd been hunting for that thing because her dad worked for the phone company, and he had given them to her. These were the Princess phones from the 60s. He had given her one when she was 5 or 6. She lost it. She lost her dad. She wanted a piece of him, a piece of that memory back. And she wrote that in the feedback. So this is what I want you to remember as you're looking at all of this jewelry and you're overwhelmed with it. Don't let it overwhelm you. Grab one thing for that day. Say, I'm going to do the statement necklaces today. I'm going to do 1 drawer. I'm going to take at least 10 pictures, 10 things. They're in my phone. And then while I sit down and watch a movie, or if I'm in a line at the post office or waiting for someone to come out, or well, I'm always waiting for my daughter to do something in the car somewhere. So I'm always at the listings are at my disposal rather, in my phone. So there's no excuse for me not to be able to list it. Thing is, getting it ready is half the battle, right? Okay, here's another thing that popped out. This was actually Brooks Brothers. This was from another recent jar. And I dismissed it as just kind of a fashion piece. So take a really good look at your things, guys. Appreciate them, because if you appreciate them, other people will. Other people will. Don't just put them away and say, oh, I'll get to that later, or those are all bracelets, or oh, I can't believe I have so many bangles. Okay, so you may have a lot of bangles, but maybe put them together, put an ensemble together, put 3 that look fabulous together. You don't need to have them listed one at a time. It's very time consuming to list things. I understand that. But we can make it easier for ourselves. Here's another fabulous lizard with AB stones on it. Pick that up for, I believe, $3 at the Goodwill counter. I love it. I love these animal figural brooches. And this is actually pendant as well. and they sell really well. And I'll talk next time a little bit about brooches and staging and that kind of thing. So I hope that you come back for those future videos that I hope to bring you, because I really want to make it easier for you to list. I don't want you to think that you'll never get through it and you wind up putting everything in a lot and everything in a lot. Some things are not worthy of individual listing. We'll talk about that. Okay, I've already sold one of these on Etsy a couple of years ago. It's just an enamel. I think it's copper or brass. It's all enameled with floral motifs, just a band, but I could get $20 for this on Etsy. This was also bought at the Goodwill counter for, I believe, about $4, $3, something like that. And the only reason I went that high is because I've sold one before. And I know that they're popular. Oh, this turquoise ring came out of the bag last night too. There was still a big mess of stuff, guys. We wanted to hurry up and have our contest, and there was still a big mess of stuff. I hope you guys took the time to hit the thumbs up before we leave, guys. Oh, here's something cute. I love these. I forget what they call this. It's like a nautilus symbol, but these were all on this little cord, guys, and it's like a amethyst quartz, or maybe, I don't know, would you call it a quartz when it's rough like that, or raw? And I don't know what the white one is, but the brown one is like the little nautilus symbol, that little shell or whatever it's called. I know there's another name for it, but that is so cool. Now I'll put this on another chain and put it both on Etsy and Poshmark. And again, we can talk about my thinking process as to why I put something here, why I put something else in another store. I do sell on Mercari, I sell on Posh, I sell on Etsy and eBay, and I try to keep them all appeased, and I sell, you know, as much as I can on each one. We do tend to favor one over the other sometimes. I was really big on Mercari for all of this Christmas season, and anytime I get a James Avery, I go to Mercari. I don't know why, but it sells like this. It's like people are looking for it, and that and Native American jewelry. Or as soon as you list it, it sells. You almost, like when I told you I was hunting for Native American James Avery, I was checking it daily. I was checking it every hour because people are buying it like this, because many people don't know the value of it. Many people are just coming into their mother's jewelry. It's a lot of Native American. They just throw it up on there. But then there's people who just want to collect it too, right? So they know that they can go to Mercari and either find a really good bargain or a unique piece, and they're going to buy it. So we will cover that as well. What my thinking is about what stores I put things in, why I pick a particular store. Here's another thing that popped out of another jar. I don't know if it was recently or the other day, but this is sterling, and I don't know if that's a garnet cut crystal or what, but that is very, very pretty. I love the design on it. It's gorgeous. And it's got that silver coming down the front. I'm not going to sell it like this. I just don't understand why. I just got 10 sterling necklaces, chains. Why would I want to put this all by itself and expect you to give me $30 for it? When you still have to find the chain that fits it, you're going to have to see if mom has a chain that fits it. You know, think about what your buyer wants. Think about what you would want. Do you want to buy a pendant all by itself when you already know that they might sell you? I mean, if you could possibly buy one with the chain already included, it matches it. You know whether you want to wear it shorter or longer, whether it requires a heavy or a thin chain. Look at all of these various sizes that I got from the jar yesterday. Some of them are absolutely beautiful. A lot of them are just plain box chains. So they didn't cost me very much. In the end, I'm going to sell that pendant 10 times faster if I put it on a chain. Same thing with this thing. And this is what I was talking about a little while ago when I said I'm only going to do statement today, because I don't want to take the time right now to get that tiny little hallmark and really get the lighting correct and clean it up, because that beautiful stone needs to shine. Oops, I'm not showing it to you, because that beautiful stone needs to shine up. You know, it's just going to be statement pieces today. And that way, my time is valuable. This is the most valuable asset we have, is our time. So Don't look at your hoard, guys. Don't look at it like, oh my gosh, look at all those necklaces that just came in the bag. Look at what you have. Sort your things quickly. I've been trying to sort everything with, you know, Christmas and brooches and sterling. I have all sterling behind me in one of these boxes. That is not my sterling particularly, but it is stuff that I want to resell. Some of it is mine. Some of it is not. Most of it is not. Some of it is listed. Some of it is not. Most of it is listed, actually. But I just got a whole bunch of new ones. So they're in there because that way I'll say, okay, these are all the ones that are listed. Now I'm listing these. We're going to dedicate ourselves to tiny pendants. The tiny pendants I'm going to put on this fabulous tray. I'm going to sit over on my bed where somehow or another God gave me great light over there. I don't know how. I've been going outside and doing all kinds of things to get the best light for sterling silver jewelry because it kept reflecting back on me. And for some reason, over there on that bed, and this velvet picks it up fabulously. I don't know why. But that'll be when I do the little pendants and the little delicate necklaces, probably next week, probably Saturday or a few hours before we start the showcase here on YouTube over at Makeup Zombies channel, 4 o'clock. I'll do it before then. That way I have a few listings done. I'm ready for Monday. If Monday I didn't get everything done, I will say to myself, I really should sell some of those rings. I have 100 rings, over 100 rings. I'll put some on. I won't put my usual favorites. I'll put on the new ones like this turquoise one. That's going on my card Monday morning. These little adjustable ones that I just showed you. This mesh, you know, and I'll put it at a reasonable price. We also have to think about that. What do you want people? Do you want it to sell, or do you want to just say, oh, I list really high and I wait for the right buyer? That's fine if that's you. That's not me. I don't have the luxury of doing this full time yet. One of these days I will. I hope to do that full time when I retire from teaching, but I'm in no hurry to retire from teaching. I love my job. I also found this at the counter. This is marked 50. It's Juicy Couture. It is merely a charm, but it is in the box. And I thought it was just the box, guys. I was going to just grab up the box because I love sending my things in beautiful presentations like that when I can. But it's a charm, and it was marked $9.99. It is a lipstick by Juicy Couture. It is so, so cute. It's really, really heavy. I guess you can clip it on maybe a zipper pull on a purse, something cute, or on your charm bracelet. So I will also put that on Posh. There are some collectors out there that love this stuff. But that's going to be another day, because today it's going to be statement necklaces. So that's the only thing I really want to take you. I want you to take away, guys, is that, first of all, wear your jewelry. Inspire your own self. Put it on. You found it. You loved it. Put it on. Have someone ask you about it. They have asked you if you wear it. They will tell you, oh, that's a gorgeous piece. And then you will feel like, oh, you know, it really is. I should have already listed it. I'm going to go take a picture of myself wearing it. I'm going to go home later, or maybe I did it over the weekend, and ready to list it. You know, that's one thing that really, really works, is to wear your jewelry. I'm not saying put everything on at one time. Not everybody likes to do that. That's fine. I'm just saying wear it. It really gets you in the mood. And do one thing at a time. Don't grab everything from the bag that you just opened. Grab your statement necklaces or do rings one day. That way you have everything set for that day of what you want to list. Sometimes it's rings. Sometimes it's statement necklaces. So, and yeah, I really love these rings. And look over your jewelry too. Sometimes you don't even know what you have. That the Yerman last night, if it hadn't been for my wonderful subscriber, Kim Webster, and several people who said, go back and look at that. That's a Yerman. I wouldn't even have known, you know? So go back and look at what you bring out as well. It's very, very important. Yes, I know you do, Kim, and you wear it very well. I mean, Kathleen, you wear jewelry very well. I mean, it's fun. That's what I want you to remember too, is the feeling that it conveys when you put it on, when someone gives you a compliment on it. It's just, it's a wonderful feeling. Or when you find something you've been looking for a while. You know, some people scoff at ID bracelets. They don't like them. They won't wear them. They wonder if they sell. They sell. They sell for a reason. One, they're either nostalgic for them. Two, Have you seen the girls that are obsessed with vintage? Do you have them in your Goodwill? I do. And they are donning vintage from head to toe. They are living it. They drive the car. They hear the music. They hang out at the clubs. It is a whole other culture. So people are hearkening back to better times. Some may say they were better, or to older times in their lifestyles. They love wearing that stuff. So why not inspire your own self? Put on your stuff. Know that those things like ID bracelets do sell. List them. Look at your research. Do a little bit of research. We'll talk about research and everything later. Again, I don't want to take too much time. I want to go ahead and start listing more of these. I have taken pictures today. I'm going to try to get through one more drawer because it's all statement necklaces. They are so cumbersome. They are so heavy. That's why I had to put them in this bin. Almost everything else I have is in jewelry boxes. But I want them gone. I want to sell them. And that's what I'm going to do. I want to take very little of your time, but I do want you to subscribe today if you haven't done so already. I do want you to come back every Sunday at 3 o'clock. We'll sit here. We'll talk about how we list, what I'm going to list where, how I priced it, what research I know, what research you may have about it. Many people have discovered things I didn't know about, and they tell us about it in the comment section. We love that. That's what I want you to do. Come back to the comment section. Let me know what inspires you. What is your favorite jewelry to list? Why is it your favorite jewelry? What's the one you can't stand? The one that gives me the most trouble is bracelets. And I don't know why, but they just don't photograph well. I do have a little watch holder that I'm going to start using for my bracelets, but I need to get on Amazon and I need to get the equipment. That's what I did. I mean, a lot of these I have found at jewelry stores, at thrift stores, but don't be afraid to spend a little bit to really get some of your jewelry out there looking its best. Again, if you like the light box and you like everything to be white, that's fine. That's you. The way you think it'll be conveyed better. But I want to tell you about what I do and how I became a power seller on eBay within 3 months of selling. I've been selling on there for over a dozen years. Within 3 months of selling, I was selling nothing but jewelry and nothing but handbags. That's my favorite thing in the world. So I think that's why I sold it. I think that's why I made $3,000 in sales, which is what you used to have to do to be a power seller back then. So I want to convey some of that knowledge to you. I hope you come back and see me really soon. Again, if you want a particular subject to be addressed, put it in the comment section once we sign off, and we'll talk about it, okay? I really appreciate your time today, and I will see you soon. Bye.